Let's start with Larry. Did you agree with the actions taken by the Wisconsin 14 Democrats in the state Senate who left their seats for Illinois in order to stop or at least delay passage of Act 10, which stripped public employees and public school teachers of virtually all their collective bargaining rights?
Yes.
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 No.
Question 2, yes or no? This is multiple choice, like you know the easy way. If you are elected to the Assembly and a quote-unquote right-to-work bill is brought to the floor of the Assembly for a vote, will you support it? Aaron?
No.
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 Unequivocally, no.
Yes or no? Are you a strongly committed supporter of the principle and the right to equal pay for equal work for all workers, regardless of gender, race, ethnicity, or sexual orientation?
Yes.
If it was good for my mom in 1940, it's good today.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes or no? Andre Jacques and other Republicans are strong advocates of a, quote, personhood amendment to the Wisconsin State Constitution, which would define personhood as beginning at the moment of conception. Would you support that amendment? Larry?
No.
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 Yes or no? Do you support marriage equality for all individuals wishing to enter into a legally binding, long-term, committed relationship with someone they love? Jim?
Regardless of gender, correct?
Oh, yeah, but yeah.
No.
The question is, do I support it?
Yeah, do you support marriage
Yes.
equality?
I have a gay son, so I support it.
Yes.
Okay. We're all doing the yes or no's.
So,
As a member of the Wisconsin Assembly, let's start with Larry. As a member of the Wisconsin Assembly, what one thing would you seek to do as a legislator that would enhance the quality of life and the general economic prosperity of the people in the 2nd and 25th districts?
Public education, funding for public education, working to enhance respect for those who work in public education, and take a very research-oriented look at all the different, I call them fragmenting public education factors, such as charter schools or viral schools or the public money going for private schools, that type of thing. I think it's fragmenting public education. And I say public education in non-economy and family supporting jobs, because that's always going to be out there because of our capitalistic society. But the tentacles of public education reach into all these other issues and have influence on all these other issues.
I would vote for the improved version of the mining bill. I think that would bring jobs to Manitowoc especially, probably to Valders. The mining bill as improved, where they can't pollute the groundwater, where they can't fill in the lowlands, would bring, at least for a little while, a few thousand jobs to the state. And it's very similar to the bills they have in Michigan and Minnesota, and they seem to be getting along just fine. So, you know, if you drive a car, maybe sometimes it's your turn to supply the ore for the metal that makes the car.
I support that, but I have a higher priority. I would do everything that I could to roll back Act 10. I think Act 10 is an absolute disaster for the state. People need to understand that what Walker did was to cut revenue sharing to local communities. Revenue sharing, folks, is another word for property tax relief. Cutting property tax relief is not budget cutting. It's simply creating a big unfunded mandate that didn't exist before. We need to get rid of Act 10. We need to do it all at once or chip away at it in little pieces, because $5 million was drained out of this district in school support alone. And Larry's talking about support for schools. Well, there it is.
Very interesting comments from a person who hasn't had to deal with budget crises at local government levels. But what I'd like to, my number one priority is to restore civility here in the state of Wisconsin, and actually the 25th district. It's no secret, there was parts of Act 10 that I supported. I am not going to deny that. I think with most public workers I talked to and teachers and stuff, they had no problem paying their fair share of their retirement account, their retirement funding, and their health insurance. But here's where I disagreed with what happened. It turned into a civil war. The public worker and the teachers have been turned into the enemy, and they're not the enemy. They are one of us. One of my favorite teachers is sitting out in this audience here tonight. He actually was one of the ones that I remember him saying at one time, you guys want to get involved or make a difference, get involved. And I took those words to heart back in 1985, going dating myself. So I value that. You know, Jody and I, excuse me once again, my wife Jody and I send our children to public schools. We will always and will continue to send our kids to public schools. We have nothing against parochial schools, but we are both graduates of public schools. We're both graduates of public universities here in the state of Wisconsin. And I don't know how a person that can be so hypocritical that it can attack a teacher and then send their children for essentially 8 hours at school the next day. If there's such an evil person, would you let your children go with that evil person? No, because public workers aren't evil. They've been made out to be evil in this last budget, but they're not evil. We need to restore that the public workers are our friend, and that's one of my main priorities.
Okay.